Dara stood by the window of the lecture hall long before the class started. She always came early, not because she loved school so much, but because of him, Michael. She did not turn her head when he walked in. She did not need to. She already knew. The soft sound of shoes, the small shift in the room, the way people suddenly became more alive. He had entered. Dara kept her eyes on her notebook. Her pen rested between her fingers, but she was not writing anything. Her heart had already started beating faster. She slowly looked up, just once. My name is Patience, and this is a story about a girl who loved someone deeply while he was busy looking for love in the wrong places. Michael walked in like he had no idea what he did to people. Tall, calm, clean. His shirt was simple, but it looked perfect on him. His hair was low and neat, his face soft but strong. He was smiling, not at her, at someone else. A girl close to the front waved at him. He walked to her. They laughed. They spoke like they had known each other for a long time. Dara looked down immediately. Her chest felt tight. She pressed her pen harder against the paper. Focus, she whispered to herself. But she could not. Her mind had already gone back to him. Dara lived a quiet life. She was not loud. She was not popular. She did not have many friends. But she noticed everything. Every day, she saw Michael. Not because he looked for her, but because she always made sure she was where he would be. Same lecture hall, same path to class, same cafeteria. She knew his routine. She knew what time he came. She knew where he liked to sit. She knew the people he laughed with. But Michael did not know her, not even once. Later that day, Dara sat alone in the cafeteria. Her food was in front of her, untouched. Her eyes were on him again. Michael sat with 3 friends, 2 guys and a girl. They were laughing loudly. The girl touched his arm while talking. He did not pull away. Dara swallowed slowly. Her throat felt dry. Why does it hurt like this? She said softly. She had never spoken to him before. Not even hello. But somehow, her heart already belonged to him. Dara! She turned quickly. It was Amaka, the only person who tried to get close to her. You are here again, Amaka said, sitting down. And let me guess, you are looking at him again. Dara quickly looked away. No, I was just... Amaka followed her eyes and sighed. Dara, she said quietly, you have to stop this. Dara said nothing. You don't even know him. I do, Dara said softly. Amaka paused. What do you mean? Dara looked back at Michael. I know the way he laughs, she said slowly. I know when he is happy. I know when he is tired. I know when something is bothering him. Amaka frowned. But he does not know you. Those words landed hard. Dara looked down again. I know, she whispered. That night, Dara lay on her bed, staring at the ceiling. Her room was quiet. Her phone was in her hand. On the screen, Michael. A picture she took from afar weeks ago. He was smiling in it. She zoomed in slightly. Her fingers touched his face on the screen. I wish, she said softly. She stopped. Her chest felt heavy again. I wish you could see me. Silence filled the room. Tears slowly gathered in her eyes. But you don't. One tear fell down the side of her face. Dara closed her eyes, holding her phone close to her chest, as if somehow that would bring him closer. Across the city, Michael sat in his own room, laughing, talking on the phone, living his life, free, happy, completely unaware that somewhere not too far away, there was a girl who loved him deeply, a girl who watched him every day, a girl who whispered his name when no one was around, a girl whose heart already belonged to him, even though he did not even know she existed. Michael stood in front of the mirror, adjusting his shirt slowly. He looked perfect. Anyone would say that. Clean, calm, handsome. But his eyes told a different story. They were tired, not from school, not from work, from people. His phone buzzed on the table. He picked it up. A message. Hey babe, I need your help again. Michael stared at the screen. He did not reply immediately. He already knew what it meant. It always meant the same thing. Money, a favor, or something that only mattered when it came from him. Never love. Later that evening, he sat across from her at a small restaurant. Her name was Sandra. Beautiful, confident, always smiling. The kind of girl people notice the moment she walked into a room. She reached across the table and touched his hand. "You've been quiet," she said softly. Michael forced a small smile. "I'm just tired." She leaned closer. "I missed you," she said. Michael looked into her eyes. He wanted to believe her. He really did. "I missed you too," he said. The words came out easily, but something inside him felt empty. After they ate, Sandra smiled again. "Michael," she said slowly, "there's something I want to ask you." He looked at her. "Here it comes. My rent is due," she said. "I've been trying to sort it out, but it's hard." Michael said nothing. She squeezed his hand. I didn't know who else to ask. Silence. The same silence he had felt before. Different girl. Same moment. Michael nodded slowly. "I'll send it," he said. Her face lit up immediately. "Thank you," she said almost too quickly. She stood up and hugged him tightly. "I knew I could count on you." Michael closed his eyes for a second. Not because he felt loved, but because he felt used. That night, Michael walked home alone. The street was quiet. The air felt heavy. He put his hands in his pockets and kept walking. Slowly, his phone buzzed again. A message from Sandra. "You're the best, Red Heart." Michael stopped walking. He stared at the message. Then he laughed. But there was no joy in it. "Am I?" he said quietly. He sat on a bench by the roadside. Cars passed. People passed. But he stayed there. Still. Thinking. He remembered the first time he met Sandra. How she smiled at him. How she said he was different. How she held his hand like it meant something. He had believed her. Just like he believed the one before her. And the one before that. Different faces. Same story. Michael leaned forward, resting his elbows on his knees. "What is wrong with me?" he whispered. His voice was low, almost breaking. "I give everything." His chest tightened. "I try to be good. I try to be real." He looked up at the dark sky. But nobody ever stays. A group of people walked past him, laughing. He watched them for a moment, then looked away. "I don't want too much," he said softly. "Just one person." His voice shook slightly. "One person who will see me and stay." He picked up his phone again, opened his messages. So many names, so many conversations. But none of them felt real. None of them felt safe. Michael stood up slowly. He took a deep breath, then another, trying to calm the heaviness inside his chest. "I'm tired," he said quietly. "Tired of giving love and getting nothing back." As he walked away, he did not know that somewhere close, there was someone who would give him everything. Someone who already loved him deeply, without asking for anything, without expecting anything. But for now, Michael kept searching, looking for love in places where it did not exist, hoping that one day, someone would finally choose him. The day felt normal, nothing special, nothing planned, but it became the day everything started. Michael stood outside the faculty building, holding his phone in one hand. He had just ended a call. His face looked calm, but his mind was not. Sandra had not replied his last message. Not even a thank you again. Just silence. He sighed and slipped his phone into his pocket. "I need to rest from all this," he said quietly to himself. He turned to walk down the corridor. And then it happened. He bumped into someone. Soft. Quick. Unexpected. "I'm so sorry. I'm sorry." They both spoke at the same time. They stopped. Silence. Dara froze. Her heart jumped so hard. She felt it in her throat. Michael. Right in front of her. Close. Too close. "I didn't see you," Michael said, looking at her properly now. His voice was calm. Gentle. Dara tried to speak, but nothing came out at first. Her hands were shaking slightly. "It's okay," she finally said. Very soft, almost like a whisper. Michael looked at her again. This time longer. His eyes narrowed just a little. Not in a bad way. In confusion. "Wait," he said slowly. Dara's heart stopped. "I feel like I've seen you before." Everything inside her froze. She forced a small smile. "Maybe in class." Michael tilted his head slightly. "Maybe," he said. "But it feels like more than that." Dara looked away quickly. She could not hold his eyes for too long. Because if she did, she might say everything. "I'm Dara," she said, trying to stay calm. Michael nodded. "I'm Michael." She almost smiled. I know. He paused. You know. Dara's heart skipped again. I mean, people know you, she said quickly. You're popular. Michael let out a small laugh. Popular, he said. I don't even feel like that. They both stood there for a moment. Neither of them moved, as if something was trying to happen, but they did not know what. So, Michael said, breaking the silence. Where are you heading to? Lecture, Dara replied. He nodded. Same. They started walking together, slowly, side by side. At first, it was quiet. Dara did not know what to say. Her mind was full. Too full. Michael spoke first. You're in my department, right? Yes, she said. Same level too. Michael looked at her again. That explains it. Dara glanced at him. What? I've definitely seen you before, he said. Just didn't notice properly. Those words touched something inside her. Not pain, not joy, something in between. It's okay, Dara said softly. They walked a little further. Then Michael spoke again. You're always quiet, right? Dara looked surprised. You noticed that? He smiled slightly. I notice more than people think. Dara looked at him. Really looked at him this time. There was something different about him. Not just his face. Not just his presence. Something deeper. Something tired. You don't talk much either, she said. Michael let out a small breath. Yeah, he said. I guess I don't. There was a pause. Then Dara spoke again. Why? Michael looked ahead, thinking. Then he answered. Because talking too much sometimes makes people think you are easy. Dara frowned slightly. What do you mean? Michael smiled, but it was not a happy smile. People only stay when they need something, he said. So, I try not to give too much anymore. Dara felt that. Deeply. She held her hands together tightly. That sounds lonely, she said. Michael looked at her. For a moment, he did not speak. Then, it is. Silence again, but this silence was different. It felt real. I used to think love was simple, Michael continued. You meet someone, you care about them, they care about you. He shook his head slightly. But it's not like that. Dara's chest felt tight, because everything he was saying, she understood, too well. What happened? She asked gently. Michael hesitated, but something about her voice made him speak. I just keep meeting people who don't see me, he said. They see what I can give, not who I am. Dara swallowed slowly. Her eyes dropped to the ground. I would see you, she said softly. Michael stopped walking. Dara stopped too. She didn't realize what she had just said. What? Michael asked. Her heart started racing again. I mean, she struggled. Someone will see you. Michael kept looking at her. There was something in her voice. Something honest. Something different. Maybe, he said quietly. They reached the front of the lecture hall. Students were already going in. I have to go, Dara said quickly. She was already nervous again. Everything felt too real. Too fast. Yeah, Michael said. Then he paused. Wait. Dara turned back. Can I have your number? Her heart stopped, then started again. Faster. Yes, she said. Almost immediately. They exchanged numbers, hands slightly brushing. A small moment, but it stayed. I'll text you, Michael said. Dara nodded. Okay. She walked into the lecture hall. Her legs felt weak. Her mind felt loud. Her heart was everywhere. Michael stood outside for a moment, looking at his phone. Her name, Dara. Why does she feel familiar? He whispered. Inside the class, Dara sat down slowly. She placed her phone on the table, staring at it. He has my number. Her lips trembled slightly. He has my number. That night, she opened WhatsApp. His name was there. Michael. Online. Her fingers hovered over the screen. She wanted to type. Hi. She stopped. Deleted it. Typed again. Deleted again. What if I say something wrong? What if he doesn't reply? What if? Her chest felt tight. Her breathing was not steady. She quickly stood up and walked out of her room. Amaka! Amaka looked up from her bed. What happened? Dara rushed in. I met him. Amaka sat up immediately. Who? Dara stared at her. Michael. Silence. Then, "What?" Amaka shouted. "We talked," Dara said quickly. "We walked together. He asked for my number." Amaka stood up now. "You're serious?" Dara nodded. Her hands were still shaking. "I don't know what to do." Amaka's expression changed. Slightly, but Dara did not notice. "Calm down," Amaka said. "Did he text you?" "No." "Good," Amaka said. Dara frowned. "Good." Amaka nodded. "Yes. Listen to me carefully." Dara moved closer, listening like her heart depended on it. "You are the prize," Amaka said. "Don't chase him." Dara blinked. "But—" "Let him chase you," Amaka continued. "Don't text him first." Dara looked unsure. "But what if he doesn't text me?" "He will," Amaka said quickly. "If he likes you." Dara swallowed. "Okay. And when he texts you," Amaka added, "don't reply fast." Dara frowned again. "Why?" Amaka folded her arms. "If you reply fast, you look too available." Dara felt confused. "But I am available." Amaka shook her head. "No, you don't understand." Dara stayed quiet. "Make him feel like he has to work for your attention," Amaka said. "Don't be too nice. Don't be too open." Dara's heart felt heavy. That did not sound like her. "But what if I just want to talk to him?" she asked softly. Amaka looked at her, then said slowly, "That's why you've never been chosen." Those words hit hard. Dara looked down. "Quiet. You have to learn," Amaka said, "or you will lose him." Lose him, even before having him. Dara nodded slowly. "Okay." That night, she went back to her room, sat on her bed, and waited. Her phone stayed in her hand. Her eyes stayed on the screen. Michael. Online. Offline. Online again. Her heart followed every movement. "I won't text first," she whispered. "I won't." Time passed. Minutes. Hours. Then, her phone buzzed. A message. From Michael. Her heart jumped. Her hands shook. She opened it. "Hey, it's Michael." Her lips parted slightly. A small smile tried to form. She started typing immediately. "Hi." She stopped. Deleted it. Amaka's voice echoed in her head. "Don't reply fast." Dara dropped her phone on the bed and stared at it. Every second felt like a battle. "I just want to talk to him," she whispered. But she did not reply. Minutes passed. Michael stared at his phone, waiting. His expression slowly changed. "Oh," he said quietly. He dropped his phone, leaning back. Maybe she's not interested. And just like that, two hearts that wanted something real started moving away from each other. Without knowing, the first message was simple. "Hey, it's Michael." Dara stared at it like it meant everything. Because it did. Her heart was beating so fast. She could feel it in her fingers. She wanted to reply. Immediately. Naturally. Honestly. But she didn't. She dropped the phone on the bed and stepped back. "No," she whispered. "Don't reply fast." Her chest felt tight. Every part of her wanted to pick it up again. To say something simple. "Hi." Just that. But Amaka's voice stayed in her head. "Don't reply fast." 5 minutes passed. 10. 15. Michael was still online. Then offline. Then online again. Dara picked up her phone again. Her fingers hovered. "I'm just replying normally," she said softly, trying to convince herself. But something stopped her. She dropped the phone again. 1 hour later, she finally replied, "Hi." Short. Cold. Unlike her. Michael saw it. He stared at the message for a few seconds. Then typed, "How are you?" Dara saw it immediately, but she didn't open it. She locked her phone, placed it beside her, and stared at the ceiling. "This is how it works," she whispered, but it didn't feel right. That night, their conversation moved slowly, too slowly. "Michael, how was your day?" Dara, after 40 minutes. "Fine." Michael paused after reading it. He typed, deleted, typed again. "That's good." Silence again. Dara held her phone tightly. "Say something more," she whispered. But she didn't. The next day, Michael texted again. Hey! Dara saw it, smiled, then remembered. She waited. 30 minutes. 1 hour. She finally replied. Hi. Same pattern. Same distance. Days passed, and slowly, the energy started to change. Michael's messages became shorter, less frequent, less warm. One night, he typed, "You seem busy most times." Dara read it. Her chest tightened. "No, I'm not." But she didn't reply immediately. She waited. By the time she replied, "Not really," Michael had already gone offline. She stared at the screen. Something inside her started to break. This is not how I want to talk to him. But still, she continued, because she believed this was how to win him. Meanwhile, Amaka watched everything. Quietly. "You're doing well," she told Dara one evening. "He's still texting you." Dara nodded slowly, but her smile was weak. "It doesn't feel right." Amaka shrugged. "Feelings don't matter. Results do." Dara looked down. She didn't fully understand, but she trusted her. What Dara did not know was that Amaka had already made her move. 2 days later, Michael sat alone at a small spot near campus, scrolling through his phone. A voice came from behind him. "Michael!" He turned. "Amaka." "Oh, hi," he said. She smiled warmly. "Hope I'm not disturbing." "No, you're not." She sat down across from him. Calm, confident, different from Dara. "I've seen you around," she said. Michael nodded. "Yeah, same." There was something easy about her, something direct. "You're not hard to notice," Amaka added. Michael smiled slightly. "I hear that a lot." They both laughed softly. Then Amaka leaned forward a little. "You look like someone who thinks a lot." Michael raised his eyebrows slightly. "Do I?" "Yes," she said. "And someone who gets disappointed easily." That caught him. "Why would you say that?" he asked. Amaka shrugged. "Just a feeling." Michael looked down for a moment, then back at her. "Maybe you're right." She smiled, soft, understanding. "You deserve someone who actually shows up," she said. Those words hit him, because they were true. They talked for a long time, longer than he expected. Amaka listened, asked questions, replied quickly, laughed at the right moments. Everything Dara was holding back, Amaka gave freely. That night, Michael went back to his room, sat on his bed, and looked at his phone. 2 chats. Dara, Amaka. One felt distant, the other felt easy. He sighed, dropped the phone. "I'm tired of forcing things," he said quietly. The next day, he didn't text Dara. Dara noticed immediately. She kept checking her phone, again and again. No message. Her chest started to feel heavy. Maybe he's busy. She tried to calm herself. Hours passed, still nothing. That night, she couldn't take it anymore. Why hasn't he texted me? She picked up her phone, opened his chat, typed, "Hi." She stared at it. Her fingers froze. "Don't text first." She deleted it. Tears slowly filled her eyes. "I don't understand." Days passed. No message. Something inside her started breaking completely now. Then, they saw each other again. It was outside the lecture hall. Same place, different feeling. Michael was walking toward the building. Dara saw him. Her heart jumped, but this time, there was pain inside it. She walked toward him, faster than she planned. "Michael!" He stopped, turned. "Dara!" Silence. They stood facing each other, but something had changed. "You haven't been texting me," Dara said suddenly. The words came out before she could stop them. Michael looked surprised. "You don't reply," he said calmly. Dara froze. "I do," she said softly. "After hours," he replied. His voice was not angry, just tired. "I thought you weren't interested." Those words broke something inside her. "I am," she said quickly. Too quickly. Michael looked at her, confused. "Then why does it feel like I'm talking to someone who doesn't care?" Dara's eyes filled with tears. "I do care," she said, her voice shaking. "Then why?" "It wasn't me," she said suddenly. Silence. Michael blinked. What? Dara wiped her face quickly, her hands shaking. It was my friend, she said. What do you mean? She told me not to reply fast, not to text first, to act like I'm not too interested. Michael stared at her, trying to understand. Why would you do that? He asked. Dara's voice broke. Because I didn't want to lose you. Silence. Michael took a small step back. You were already losing me, he said quietly. Those words hit deep. I'm sorry, Dara whispered, tears falling now. I didn't know what to do. Michael looked at her, really looked at her. For the first time, he saw her clearly. Not just her face, but her heart. I just wanted you to like me, she continued. I wanted to do everything right. You don't want people like that, Michael said softly. Dara shook her head. I know. Her breathing was uneven now, her emotions spilling out. I tried to act like I didn't care. She looked at him, eyes red, voice shaking. But the truth is... She paused, just for a second. Then it came out. You know I love you. Silence. Everything stopped. Michael stared at her. His expression changed slowly. You love me, he said. Dara froze, her own words echoing in her head. Her eyes widened slightly, her lips parted. She didn't mean to say it like that. Not now. Not like this. But it was already out. And now, there was no way to take it back. They stood there, facing each other. One heart exposed, the other unsure. Michael's voice came again. Quiet, careful. You love me. Dara said nothing. She just stood there, breathing slowly, waiting, afraid, not knowing what would come next. Thank you for watching this story. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more.